NNRG.
Okay, so you pretty much have to have been living under a rock to not know about the Epyx sports games. However, I have never played this one before. Believe it or not. I know this thing is like freaking everywhere. Anyways, Winter Games. Let's start it up from the disk files. So, searching for star. Are we going to have flashing? We are going to have flashing, because of course. So, yeah, I know what Winter Games is. I've just never played it myself, and I know what the... Okay, we got an intro coming on here, I think. I hear music, but I'm not seeing anything? Oh, okay, there's our intro. That's kind of a weird way of doing it. I have to hope that there's no swearing in this particular intro, otherwise that's going to be very difficult to censor. But if there is, I'll find a way to do it. Okay, so how do I get through this? Spacebar... The spacebar made the text disappear, other than the main... Oh wait, there it goes. Okay, so it's just a very delayed intro, I guess. And now I got a document file. So the story... Wait, Winter Games has a story? You are athlete. You are athlete. Did somebody like type that in incorrectly, or is that what it actually says in the manual? More research required. Anyways, you are athlete at the Winter Games 1988 in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. You are about to move across snow and ice with as much speed, strength, endurance, and grace as you can muster. As you muster in the blustery cold. Yeah, this feels like a lot of words are missing. I got a funny feeling this is not the actual language in the instructions. Well, that's kind of interesting. The scroll is done as a smooth scroll. You don't have to see that with these kinds of things. So objectives, Winter Games, challenges, your competitive skills, a series of athletic contests for 1 to 8 players. You can compete in 7 challenging winter events. Ski jump, bobsled, figure skating, freestyle skating, hot dog aerials, speed skating, and biathlon, cross-country skiing, and rifle shooting. By the way, can someone explain to me why it's called hot dog aerials? I've never understood that term. Okay, how to play. This is probably going to be the important one. So once the opening ceremony concludes, the menu screen offers you a choice of 6 options. Make a selection, use your joystick. Okay, so this is just telling us how to use the UI. I think I could figure out a UI. I more so want to know what the controls of the actual games are. Okay, so for figure skating, it says press the fire button to start figure skating. To begin a movement, point the joystick in the direction of the movement you want to make and press the fire button. To complete a movement, center the joystick and press the fire button. So these are all the moves here, apparently. So I guess what you're supposed to do is start a movement, and then stop holding a direction and press the button again when the movement is done. I guess that makes sense. And it says here that free skating is just basically doing the moves however you want to. The goal is to complete all of them. Okay, so it's basically figure skating just with different rule set. Okay, so with speed skating, the idea is that you need to push the joystick back and forth. Now, it's not saying... Okay, it says left and right to move skaters' legs. Okay, and the idea is you have to do it in time with what you're seeing on screen if you want it to go faster and faster. Okay. And it looks like biathlon is another thing where it's just sort of moving back and forth. And then bobsled here says, move the joystick left and right to guide your sled. Steer hard. To avoid capsizing at turns, try to anticipate the pull of centrifugal force. Steer hard in the opposite direction. Watch your speed. The power bar at the bottom of the screen shows how fast you're going. Faster you go, harder you have to steer. But wait, harder you have to steer. These are digital controls. These are not analog controls. I guess you just push left when you're turning to the right and push... Or no, push right when you're turning to the right and push left when you're turning to the left. I guess that's simple enough. And I'm at the end of the documents. Okay, so let's get into this. So, we got our crack screen. Want to use fast load. This version's fixed to work on all other drives. Use the fast load only on the 1541. To enjoy this game, use a 1581 instead. Okay. Given the fact that I've had bad luck with built-in fast loaders, I'm just going to say no to this one. Reset high scores? Sure. If the load times are ridiculous, I can just warp through them and cut ahead for all of you watching. And we already got a title screen. Epyx presents Winter Games by Action Graphics. Copyright 85. And press the button. And what's it going to do? Oh, we got a load. Oh, and we got a little intro here. So an opening ceremony, I think, was mentioned. Got a runner going up with the Olympic torch. Probably going to light the thing. And there it goes. Now, I've never actually watched the Olympics, but I'm going to guess that something similar to this happens, like, in every Olympic ceremony at the start. Because I know about the torch that gets brought across a fairly large distance to actually reach the stadium to light the big thing in the center or wherever it's located. In fact, that's something that's actually referenced in a Pokemon episode even, so that's part of how I know about that. Because, again, I never paid attention to sports as a kid. I guess this is just going to keep going forever unless I push a button. Okay, so we got our starting screen here. So compete in all the events, compete in some events, compete in one event, practice an event, number of joysticks, see world records, or replay the opening ceremony. Given the nature of this thing, I think instead of trying to like compete in everything, which may like cut us off or something, we may want to just go to the practice thing. Because with some games like this, if you go into the practice, you can actually do it over and over again, so we don't just completely get cut off from everything and have to go through tons of loading. So I guess we'll just go in order. So Hot Dog Aerials is first in the list. Okay, so the loading times aren't terrible, but they're not exactly fast either. It was like half a minute. So I guess we're at the top here. We're ready to go down. Push a button. Okay, I did something. Okay, apparently I got some 6s. I don't know, 5.9. We can give that another try, see if we can do better. And nope, that is not a better. Let's do it again. And totally fail. Oh geez, that time I did way worse, 4.9. Yeah, it seems to be based on which tricks you can pull off, so there's probably, okay, that might be good. Okay, got some 7s. Okay, 6.8. You know what? That's good enough. We got something not quite terrible, not quite great. I will leave it at that, and we'll move on to the next event, because we got 6 more of these things to go through. Okay, Biathlon's the next one. And something I do like is that these events seem to be waiting for user input before they start, which that's something I like about some of these Commodore 64 games. Because of the long loading times, they'll actually wait after the load for you to push something before the gameplay actually begins. And that's good when that happens. It's not good when a game just starts going like right away. This moment the load is done, even though it took like a minute to load, you weren't anywhere near the computer, off it goes, and by the time you get back and sit down, it's like already 10 seconds in, you've lost half your health. Okay, so for this, I think what we have to do is push the joystick back and forth in time with the... Wait, that didn't work. Okay, it seems the timing is actually very particular in terms of doing this. So you know if you're getting the timing right because you'll actually gain speed, and if you're getting the timing wrong, you'll lose speed. So we seem to be doing okay for now. Now the thing with this biathlon is that there's supposed to be like a skeet shooting thing or something. So eventually we're going to get a gun, I guess. That'll be interesting. I'm not timing this well for some reason. How am I supposed to... Oh, you actually have to... Well, that's interesting. You have to like load the gun? Okay, that wasn't actually too bad. So, back down the skis, do the cross-country thing. Actually, I think what might be happening is I'm missing the strides sometimes, because it depends on whether your left foot or your right foot is going. And it seems like when I'm slowing down, even though I think I'm getting the timing right, that seems to be a result of pushing the wrong button on the wrong stride or something like that. Yeah, the timing when you're going straight is very weird. I'm not quite sure I've got it down. And then for these downhill parts, you just have to push down and you do the proper stroke down. Oh, we got up that uphill pretty well that time. Yeah, I'm really not sure about this timing. This is the part I'm struggling with, is the straight ahead. Going uphill seems to be easier than going downhill. Jeez. Okay, one more shooting section. And once again got 3 of them. I seem to be good at getting 3 of the targets each time. Okay, so hopefully we're almost done. Oops, I hit that downhill pretty bad, so it's going to be tough to go up. See if we can keep our speed up here. And there's the finish line. Okay. So 348 and penalty for missing some targets and 428 total time. Okay. Okay, figure skating is next here. Now I think for this one you have to like do specific moves, but I don't know what the choreography is supposed to be, so guess we're gonna find out. Okay, I think there's a very specific move we're supposed to be doing. Okay. So, and you hit the button when you land, and don't do that, apparently. That's weird, I'm not... Okay, we got a move going there. It seems like there's very specific moves it wants you to do. Or maybe it's not so much that, but maybe there's... Yeah, that didn't work that time. I don't know. You know what? Screw that. That was, from what I understand from reading the manual, I think the free skating is going to work out better than the figure skating. So I think that's the next one, so I guess we're going to find out. Oh no, actually the ski jump is next. So I guess we're going to have to wait on that free skating thing. Oh, we got some music with this one, and that is one heck of a jump. Okay, let's see if we can do this. I'm not sure. Well, that didn't look so good. Oh, I guess this is based on distance and style. So I guess play again. Now, if I remember, there's supposed to be a thing where this is... Okay, apparently you could just totally fail to make the jump. Okay, so it says you have to correct things that are happening, or... Okay, that was not correcting anything. This is probably not going to end right. No. Or maybe it's just showing my best distance at the bottom there, not necessarily the... Oh, I actually landed it! I have no idea how I did that. I think I just pushed the button at the right time. But it still only gave me 162 points. Like, even wiping out I was doing better. Okay, speed skating is next. So we gotta press our button, and then ready, set, go. Now, I'm the one at the bottom. I seem to be doing okay. Yeah, you have to push the... You have to push the left and right in time with what your skater's doing, otherwise you lose speed. Well, that seems to be what's going on here. Controls here aren't perfect, but they are working better than the Biathlon. Uh-oh, the other guy's catching up, but I still managed to get across the finish line first. And then we got some kind of crazy music going. I mean, yeah, I did beat the computer player. And yeah, it's not actually nearly as egregious a back and forth as you would think. And it's pretty rhythmic, actually. So yeah, that was even better. 30.2. Okay, so now it's time for the free skating. So this is the one where I think you're allowed to do pretty much whatever moves you want. So let's see if we can figure this out. So if we do a move here, and then land it, then do another move and land it, and we can turn around. So yeah, that's interesting. Things that would have made me wipe out in the figure skating are not making me wipe out here. That's very interesting. And there went it. Okay, now I am still wiping out. So yeah, it seems like certain moves can't be done unless you're in a particular orientation. Because yeah, if I hold back and push the button, then I start going backwards. If I hit forward and push the button, then I start going forwards. Now if I hit forwards and press the button, nothing happens, but in the figure skating, that was causing me to fall over. And that, I didn't push that. The skater just started going backwards entirely of their own volition. Oh, we got a new move there. Or that wasn't it. That wasn't it either. I guess we have to be going from a backwards to do that. Okay, that seemed to work. And we can do it from the bottom like that. Okay. So there's some strategy here, I think. Okay, so that's, well, I fell on my butt for the end there. And you know what? Better scores than in the figure skating, because the figure skating was a lot more restrictive on what you were capable of doing, whereas here there seemed to be a little more flexibility. Not a lot more flexibility, but it seemed to be doing more. Okay, and last up we got the bobsled here. So I think with this one we were just supposed to push left and right depending on what the turns are. So let's start going. So, okay, we've got a right turn, so turn right, left turn left. So yeah, I'm just holding the direction when the thing comes up. Like, is this even doing anything? What if I push nothing? Oh, okay. It is actually looking for your inputs. Okay, so we just discovered, yes, I am actually having an effect. But then how is it determining, like, how fast or slow you go? Or maybe it's just timing. Like, if you're turning left at the appropriate time or right at the appropriate time, you gain speed. Like, maybe that's how that works. Okay, so I crossed the finish line with a 22:27. So let's try that again. You know what? This time I'm going to try holding up while I'm doing this, see if that makes a difference. I'm going to guess not, but you never know. Almost at the end. It's going to be one right turn there, and then 22:35. So holding up did not either had a very minor difference, which I doubt, so it's probably just took the turns better. That seems to be all it is. Like, what if I yeah, if I don't press anything, you just fall over. Okay, so that was Winter Games. It's kind of an interesting mix of some games which make sense and some which don't. Like, I mean, here's the thing. They were trying to go for this sort of quantity thing because they wanted to have a whole bunch of different Olympic events in here. But then how do you gamify some of those with 80s tech, right? So, like, I mean, when you compare it to something like a modern Olympics-themed game where the controls... Well, you know, now that I think about it, some of the controls we were seeing in here are kind of the same kind of controls you see even in the modern takes, because what are you supposed to do for controls? Like, I mean, the entire reason we have a D-pad and buttons is to control direction and action. But in a lot of Olympic sports, the direction is straight ahead, and the action is just run or jump. So you're very limited, really, in how you can turn that into a competitive game with the kinds of controls that we normally use. But yeah, like, some of this worked out fairly well. Like, the bobsled was very straightforward. The biathlon was actually not that terrible. I think if I had the timing down better, it would be a better experience, but I was kind of struggling with the timing there. The speed skating worked okay. The ski jump and the hot dog aerials, I think those have some merit, but you gotta be really particular with what you're doing. And then as for the figure skating and the free skating, that was just really confusing. So yeah, it's kind of like a mixed bag of stuff, but it's all simple stuff when it comes down to it. So I guess that's not a terrible thing, because from what I understand, the Epyx sports titles, or in fact most Epyx titles, didn't sell for that much. So that's if I'm remembering that particular aspect correctly. I may be completely wrong about that, but if that is correct, then that's not that terrible a thing. But paying for a full price on this, yeah, I can't see me doing that.